There are plenty of movies to look forward to this year, from superhero titles, explosive action, even some spine-tingling thrillers. Here with the list of the most anticipated movies of 2023, film critic Rad is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so
and Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. So let's start with the holdovers from last year, from 2022.
Yeah.
First up, what? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse never came out.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, I mean, if you remember this time last year, I was like, oh, the movies I'm most looking forward to, one of them being Spider-Man Across the Universe. And I'm still waiting, you know, and I'll wait for another year if I have to, because of course this is the sequel to, you know, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is, you know, arguably one of the greatest comic book movies ever. One of the only ones that really brought like a real visual wit and inventiveness and just a really emotional journey of, you know, that young new Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I'm really looking forward to where this goes. And there was another holdover.
Was it Killers of the Flower Moon?
Killers of the Flower Moon. Also, like, my most anticipated movie from the guy who always criticizes Marvel movies, Martin Scorsese.
Right.
You know, Martin Scorsese. This is the movie where he reteams up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro to tell the story of these murders in the 1920s where it was really like there was a nefarious plot to grab oil-rich land from indigenous people. So I'm really kind of powerful story from one of the greatest filmmakers ever. That's obviously
it's going to happen at some point this year?
Yeah, like, I mean, again, I will wait another year for it. I do expect that both Spider-Man Across the Universe and Killers of the Flower Moon will probably show up around May, June for the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay. All right, it's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time now to talk about the movies for 2023. The most anticipated movies on your list is Barbie.
Barbie. I mean, have you seen the pictures of this?
Of course I have.
Like, they've been all over, right?
Yes.
Like the Day Glow Barbie and Ken was starring Margot Robbie.
You need your sunglasses to look at this.
Yeah, so that's Margot Robbie. That's the Ryan Gosling, all like, dressed up as Barbie.
So great.
Also, Simu Liu, Canada's Simu Liu's in this house. And look, like, I know, like, you might be like, why do we need a Barbie movie? But look, this is coming from Greta Gerwig. She's the director. You know Greta Gerwig as this critical indie darling who's made movies like Lady Bird and Little Women. So you know she's not going in this to be like, hey, it's Barbie's world. Like, this is not gonna, you're not gonna get like, I'm a Barbie girl out of this. I'm getting that we're at least gonna have some kind of Lego movie-like satire here, and she's just gonna go to town. So I can't wait to see that.
I also feel like Ryan Gosling, because I was like, I wonder why he would sign on for this. But if you say it like that, and with that director, there's gotta be some grit here.
I mean, you know, anytime you've ever interviewed Ryan Gosling, he's not telling it to you straight.
You're acting like I've interviewed him.
I mean,
like, I would love to.
You know your friend Ryan Gosling? You know, you can never take him seriously. Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Tell me about this one.
Look, and I'm not even the biggest fan of Christopher Nolan, but you know that anytime it's Christopher Nolan, it's a big deal. Even if this guy is telling a biopic of a historical figure, which is what he's doing here, it is going to be a big deal. And it's going to get the big spectacle treatment, and everyone's anticipating it. This is about Oppenheimer, the guy who was part of the Manhattan Project, who developed the nuclear bomb. What's really wild about the behind-the-scenes stories here is that, you know, like Christopher Nolan, he's one of those filmmakers who likes to do things for real. He's CGI averse, so he likes to shoot stunts and effects with practical effects. So he flipped a real big rig for Dark Knight. He, he crashed a real 747 for Tenet. In this one, he's like, well, we had the real challenge of creating practical effects for our nuclear test explosions. And everyone's like,
how do you do that?
Did you actually shut off a nuclear explosion for your movie? Like, it's like that's, we wouldn't put it past him, right?
Right. Oh, speaking of action, I was excited to see Mission Impossible on your list.
Yes. I mean, when do I ever not put Mission Impossible on my list? Like, this is obviously my favorite franchise ever. And of course Mission Impossible 7, this is actually, it's called Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is the first part of a two-part conclusion to the entire Mission Impossible franchise, right? And now, it's once again, Tom Cruise is here to save the box office. You know how this year, last year, 2022, Top Gun Maverick was the top of the box office. It brought people to theaters. He's going to do it
because it was so great.
It was so great. And it's also, again, he fights for the theatrical experience with IMAX imagery and stuff. He's doing it again here with Mission Impossible, which, you know, like, I get the stories from this set. You know how hard he pushed for this, because this is the movie that was, like, plagued during the pandemic. They were shooting in Europe, pandemic hit, it got stopped multiple times because of COVID delays. He went to war for this. You remember that audio of him yelling at people on the set of this movie to make sure they follow protocols because Hollywood was waiting for this movie. You also may not know that he went into a legal battle with Paramount when they said, we're going to release it in theaters for 45 days and then drop it on our streaming service. He's like, no, you're not. And so he like literally ambushed, he held this movie hostage, like, I'm not giving you this movie if you don't give it a real theatrical push.
Like, talk about a superstar.
He's here to save the movies.
Okay, I want to get to The Killer quickly.
Okay.
Killer?
So The Killer is directed by David Fincher, who is one of my favorite movies, favorite filmmakers ever. And it's basically a hitman thriller where Michael Fassbender plays this hitman who's going through a crisis. He's kind of cracking, right? And the reason I'm excited about this is because it's David Fincher, who's one of the greatest filmmakers, and he's been trying to get this project made since 2007, since the time that he made Zodiac, which is one of the greatest movies of the 21st century and basically his masterpiece. So that level of love and passion that he's bringing to this to get this story told, I can't wait to see it.
All right.
We waited long enough.
I waited long enough. Well, thanks for walking us through the year ahead. It's really exciting, like some big movies.
It is, yeah. 2023 is gonna kill.
All right, thanks so much, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.